information that we're going to be sharing with you is certain information that we've released, but we just want to, again, remind folks of what we're trying to do and the information we're trying to get out before the public to help us solve this particular crime. As you know, yesterday, which was the 29th, Wednesday, in the city of Ludington, the Ludington Police Department responded to 922 East Tinkham Avenue, apartment number 108, what was reported initially as a civil situation. The officers quickly understood it to be something more serious, that being an alleged abduction of a young lady by the name of Catherine Shelby Elizabeth Phillips. She's 4 months old, and there's a lot of people in this town that are wanting to do everything we can to bring her home. The officers were quickly joined by deputies from the Mason County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Fires is to my left. And if I could deviate here for just a moment and point out to Lieutenant Levitt from the Michigan State Police Hart Post, representing Michigan State Police in general, Sean Cross from the United States Coast Guard, Ludington Station, Mr. Paul Spaniolo, the prosecuting attorney for Mason County. Each of these agencies represented by these gentlemen up here are actively involved in the investigation, as are members of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And I do want to point out that they've been extremely helpful and continue to be extremely helpful as we seek to bring resolution to this incident. Anyway, shortly thereafter it was determined or found that the allegation was made that Catherine had been abducted. And some information brought forth in this indicated that the suspect vehicle that we released to you previously was a 1998 Oldsmobile Intrigue, 4-door, silver in color. And that the person driving that vehicle, and in fact alleged to have left with that child, was a Mr. Sean Michael Phillips. Sean Michael Phillips of Scottville. I believe we've described to you previous, and just to remind you that Catherine was last seen wearing a one-piece outfit described as white in color with black polka dots, pink straps, black and pink flower pattern, that type of clothing. So anybody that may have seen Mr. Phillips and Catherine wearing that type of clothing in that type of vehicle. In particular, yesterday afternoon between 1 and 2 p.m. at the Wendy's restaurant, we have some information that they were there, and we'd like anybody that may have saw either Mr. Phillips or perhaps Catherine there, we would ask that you contact Mason Oceana 911. And again, this is a little out of order, but just to give you that number, and then we'll repeat it later, is 231-869-5858. And that's going to be the Mason Oceana 911 Dispatch Center, and they'll be sure to get the information to us. I think I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Spaniolo at this time to speak a little bit about some facets of the investigation and Mr. Phillips.
Good afternoon. Mr. Phillips has been charged and has been arraigned today on charge of kidnapping. That is a felony punishable by maximum life imprisonment or any term of years that is life with parole. That's the maximum penalty he would receive if convicted of that crime. He has been arraigned by the magistrate Patricia Baker, B-A-K-E-R. He has demanded a preliminary examination. Preliminary examination is scheduled for Wednesday, July 13th at 11:15 in the courthouse in Ludington. Mr. Phillips was remanded to the county jail where he is subject to a bond of $500,000 cash or surety. Mr. Phillips is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the allegations in that complaint. No other charges are being brought at this time as the investigation is still developing. When asked and repeat what Chief Barnett said, we are particularly interested in tips in this matter. Any interested parties may contact Silent Observer in Mason County, or they may contact Mason Oceana 911 Dispatch.
I think at this point, we've given you some information. I know that there's going to be some questions. We will answer those to the extent that it does negatively impact the ongoing investigation. Again, our whole goal here is to receive information that will ultimately bring about the safe return of Catherine. So if we could answer those questions or understand that the answer to those questions will be, that'll be our priority.
Do you have any idea about her condition? Any idea at all?
We do not. She was in fine condition when last she was seen by her mother. And we expect that that's still the case.
So the presumption is that she is still alive?
That's the idea that we're operating with, yes, sir.
What information have you got from Mr. Phillips?
Mr. Phillips was spoken to by Detective Tom Posma of the Mason County Sheriff's Department last night. That's P-O-S-M-A. Sergeant Posma spoke with him last night under Miranda warnings. During the course of the interview with Detective Posma, Mr. Phillips did not relate the whereabouts of Catherine.
Did he know where she is?
He did not relate the whereabouts of Catherine.
Can
He
you
did not say where she was. He did not say where she was. He did not say he knew where she was.
So did he refuse? Did he say he did not take her? Did he deny it?
All I can say is he did not reveal where she was. I don't want to be difficult. I hope he can appreciate this, but he did not indicate where she was.
Can you talk at all about what's going on the lake just northeast of here?
There is investigation. We've received a tip as to that location through I don't know if it was Sound Observer or Central Dispatch, and that tip is being followed up on by the State Police Mobile Crime Lab.
And what is the role of the Coast Guard?
You want to answer that one?
Yes. The Coast Guard's assistance was requested by Michigan State Police last night to assist in the search. This morning, an air asset from Air Station Traverse City was launched to search the Crystal Lake area, I believe, and another area aside from that. That's the Coast Guard's role so far, and we will, as resources permit, we can, and if they're requested.
How many scenes are there now? Then, because there's the Grand Rapids Police Lab. One scene, is that the same one that he's referring to on the lake?
There's the area immediately adjacent to the lake is one area of interest. And I just kind of, if I could deviate here for just a moment, understanding that the area that was called in, any type of search that can be conducted without leaving a footprint, so to speak, on the scene. In other words, look at it from the air, come in and do any type of evidence collection. If there is any evidence, to look at that and make sure and collect that prior to actually putting boots on the ground and going in and searching a broader area. So if you're wondering why the air asset, that's the reason why. It's a less intrusive sort of an inspection. And then we can kind of go in and move into that area pretty deliberately to search.
Is that the same scene, though? The lake scene, the same as where the Grand Rapids Crime Lab is?
I believe they are, and I don't know at this very moment, but I know that that's one of the areas that they're looking at. I know that there's another area, I believe it's on Millerton Road, I believe, yes. So at this point, I know those two. Yes.
So I understand there's a search going on right now at his parents' home, the suspect's parents' home?
I can't comment on that, I don't know that for sure.
Okay, so not from the prosecutor.
I know that at some point that is, but I don't know specifically right now that that's.
I don't know if they're there right now. I don't know if they're there right now. I know that is one of the places that's to be investigated if it hasn't already been done.
Why is Crystal Lake of interest, and what evidence, if any, have you collected there?
We're not going to comment on the type of, the reason why we're there, just suffice it to say that we've had some information that it may be germane to the case. We're not going to comment on what type of evidence or what type of material has been collected at this point.
Could you talk about the relationship between the suspect and the child?
The suspect and the child. The suspect is the biological father of the child's older sister. The child has an older sister named Haley, who is approximately 3 or 4 years old. He is her biological father. There has been no determination whether or not he is or he is not the biological father of Catherine, the missing child.
there was something in the press release about that she was in extreme danger. Why that terminology? Can you talk about that?
I think we have not gotten a satisfactory explanation as to her location, as to where the child is, and given the fact that she is unavailable and she's unaccounted for, we feel that there is danger involved here.
Was the child taken from the home or a vehicle, or not in the home, the apartment area?
The child was near the vicinity of the mother's residence in a vehicle.
That was the last time she was seen?
Yes.
Was the suspect at the mother's residence?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Can you say why?
They were going to run an errand together.
Do you have any indication of what the disagreement was that led to him taking the child?
This is unfortunately one of the things I really can't discuss at this time. We're trying to get further information developed as to that. And having it released right now might be cause problems in the investigation. Sorry about that.
Was the suspect leaving to go serve a tour of duty in Afghanistan, and when?
I have been informed that he has he is presently in, I believe it's the National Guard, and I've been informed that there's an upcoming deployment that he has orders for deployment. I have no confirmation of that. I've not seen any orders. I've been informed as to that. I'll leave it at that. Excuse me.
Was the suspect alone with the children at the apartment? Were both children there?
The mother was with the suspect and child, and I do not know whereabouts of the older child at that time.
Do you know when the police were called? I mean, did suspect leave with child and police were instantly called, or was there a delay of some kind?
Very short delay, less than half an hour.
So suspect did not have permission to leave with the child?
That's correct.
Did the suspect have any custody rights?
To Catherine, no.
Okay.
He does not have any court-ordered rights at all with respect to Catherine.
Did the suspect have any custody rights with Kaylee?
Yes. He does have custody rights with respect to the older child.
Is the area at US 31 in Millerton considered part of the crime scene?
That is,
What do you consider
I
that
don't
area?
necessarily say that it's part of the crime scene because the removal of the child occurred in the city of Ludington. However, a search warrant has been issued by the court to investigate and search the area of Millerton Road, the residents of Millerton Road, as we believe that there may be evidence there.
Is that where you found the suspect and took him into custody, or where did that
That's
happen?
where the suspect was located, yes, as was his vehicle.
The suspect was arrested when again? What time?
I don't have the time. It was yesterday,
Like in the evening?
late afternoon.
And he was found at his parents' home.
That's correct.
Have the K-9 units been deployed to Millerton Road?
I don't have any information as to that. Can you answer that?
As to where they're physically at right now, we don't have an answer for that.
Okay, have K-9 units been deployed?
K-9 units have responded as an asset to be used when appropriate. I'm not saying that to dodge it. I'm just saying that there are certain assets that are being accumulated or being identified so that when the proper time for their deployment comes, that they'll be ready to go. So I can't say that they're deployed right now because I don't know that, Pat, but I know that they're in theater, so to speak.
They have been seen in that area?
Yes.
Can you talk at all about how crucial the time is for this?
Well, I mean, certainly just to look outside, this is Michigan, so weather can change at the drop of a hat. So we definitely want to, any